First quarterback I'm going to drop heading into week 9 is Jared Goff after a bad performance with 12 fantasy points versus the Miami Dolphins, 355 yards at passing TD, 2 windows, and 2 fumble losses. That's the problem with Goff. He's just not inconsistent. One week he's good, the next week he could look like the worst quarterback in football. So Goff, now he's heading into a bye. The last few weeks he's had mediocre fantasy days. Is Goff for the Los Angeles Rams. So Goff, he's a guy I would get away from, especially with going into the bye. The second guy I'm going to drop is Gardner Minshew of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is Minshew. He's hurt also. He's not going to play. He's going to be inactive, they said already. So Mike Glennon or Jake Luton is going to start. Good luck with that. And Minshew, people are listening already. He's been dropped in 18% of fantasy leagues. Minshew, he's had a decent fantasy season with 5-6 games over 20 fantasy points. But now with the injury, who knows when he'll be back. And then he's got a tough schedule if, say, he comes back in week 10 at Green Bay and then Pittsburgh. So Minshew's a guy I'm going to stay away from. The weapons in his offense ain't that great. So Minshew, he's the guy I'm going to drop, and many people have already. And the third and final guy is Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what's up with him, but versus a very weak Dallas Cowboy defense last night, he was horrible. 123 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 windows, a 2-point conversion, and 2 fumble losses. So Wentz once again trying to do too much instead of simplifying the game and making easy throws as Carson Wentz. Instead, he's just making bad rookie mistakes, it looks like, for the fourth-year quarterback. He only had 12 fantasy points last night. I know he's got an easy schedule coming up, but he's a headache to own, is Carson Wentz. He could start a game off great and then go to a dud or start off real slow like we saw him versus the Giants, and he finished that day with 31 fantasy points. So Carson Wentz, he's just inconsistent for me. I want a guy with consistency. Plus, he's going into a bye, so that's 3 quarterbacks I'm dropping heading into week 9 of the fantasy football season.